Mayor Kyra presents Kyra Tales, a journey into the realms of imagination, where the extraordinary comes to life. In this series, we'll explore captivating stories, unique characters, dark meanings, and unexpected adventures, all in one season. In 3, 2, 1, 0.
Lauren, a solitary engineer, lived a life devoid of children, family, friends, or a lover. Each day seemed like a repetition of the last. Her only regular contact came from the king, who occasionally called upon her to fix or repair things. However, those calls grew rarer, and with each absence of her, Lauren's sadness deepened. Loneliness weighed heavily on Lauren's heart as she yearned for something more. She had achieved success in her work, but it failed to fill the void in her life. Then, one day, an extravagant idea struck her like lightning. She rushed to her drawing board, the solution to her sadness dawning upon her. For a year, she toiled relentlessly on her creation, endless nights blending into each other. Her sleepless nights culminated in the completion of her project, a manifestation of her own longing for love. Lauren had tried to find love in people, but it had always eluded her. Yet, she could build a form of love with her own hands. Her childhood, spent on the cold streets of London, was marked by desolation. The only moment she clung to was a bronze gear, a curious possession for a child. On it, a heartwarming poem was etched: "Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind. And therefore is winged Cupid painted blind." These words had stayed with her for 24 years. The final piece her creation needed was the same gear she had safeguarded for nearly a quarter of a century. Placing it in the center of her mechanical masterpiece, she breathed life into it. She named her creation Ella Henry, after the man who had haunted her dreams and reality of Ella, the one who had caused her sorrow. When Henry came to life, a warm embrace filled the void in her heart, and for a moment, she knew the joy of love. But that happiness was fleeting. A dark presence loomed over them, making Lauren uneasy. She felt watched. As she whispered, "I love you, Henry," an eerie feeling lifted. However, Henry's sudden malfunction and violent disintegration shattered her world. Amidst the chaos, a dark, malevolent figure emerged. It was Henry, not like the robot she had built but like a sinister presence. Lauren questioned the reason for this destruction, her voice trembling. The malevolent entity revealed an ominous pact from Lauren's family history, feeding on her happiness for almost 3 decades. As the malevolent being vanished into the shadows, Lauren rushed to the remnants of her beloved Henry. Tears streamed down her face as she screamed in anguish. Her happiness had been fleeting, and she was left in desolation. Haunted by the malevolent entities promised to return when her joy resurfaced. Alone, with no one to love her or tell her she was important, Lauren found herself in a world of heartache. The void in her life seemed inescapable, her only hope that the malevolent presence might grow tired of her and end her suffering. In the end, she had no one left, and her heart ached for meaning and love. She sensed a chilling, malevolent presence lurking behind her, casting a dark, oppressive shadow. An unsettling chuckle broke the silence. And it wasn't her beloved Henry, but a sinister entity she could only describe as the monster of the shadows. "Why did you do this?" Lauren cried out in exasperation, her face flushed with anger. Clutching her chest as if trying to contain the pain, "I could never find happiness without you destroying it," she added, her voice quivering as she felt the malevolent force sapping the joy from her soul. The malevolent entity responded, recounting a dark family history, revealing that her grandfather had made a dreadful deal. It allowed the malevolent presence to siphon the happiness of the first grandchild, all to keep her grandmother alive. Someone Lauren had never met, the malevolent being admitted to feeding off her happiness for 29 long years. As Lauren heard this dreadful truth, the malevolent entity grew led with laughter before vanishing into the shadowy abyss. It left behind a chilling promise to return whenever Lauren dared to find happiness. Threatening to take away the love of her life once again, Lauren fell to her knees beside the lifeless, shriveled body of her beloved robot, tears streaming down her face. Her heart shattered into pieces. 29 agonizing years had already passed, and she knew how many more she would endure alone. Her only wish was that the malevolent presence might lose interest and bring an end to her torment. She had no one left, no one to love her, reassure her of her worth, or remind her that she truly mattered.